Hello everyone, this is Pranav and welcome to Pranav Vyamnam new category research paper. In this category, I'm going to talk about my analysis on various subjects right from films, history, mythology and everything else. Let's get started. Today's topic is superheroes in cinematic universe. We all know there are two main superhero cinematic universes in Hollywood. The MCU or Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. Although Marvel Cinematic Universe turned out to be a big success, DC has failed to achieve the same, even after having the same amount of fan base. Why is it so? We are going to discuss that. And we are also going to talk about why superhero films and series fail in India. Number 1. On the one hand, Marvel Universe began with origin stories like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Incredible Hulk. DC directly landed to its crossover movies right after Man of Steel. This didn't give time to the audience to understand the backstory of the characters. Snyder was like, everybody knows who is Batman, everybody knows who Lex Luthor is. Without origin story of Batman, we had no idea why is Batman killing people, why is Lex Luthor played by Jesse Eisenberg acting as Jesse Eisenberg and not Lex Luthor. Without an origin story, you fail to connect with the characters like Batman. And although you knew what has happened before, like Joker probably killed Robin and that changed Batman, but without an origin story, without a prequel, you can never connect with the character. Okay, fine. I'm fine. So, because of that, DC started failing. Zack Snyder got a bad name. Number 2. Although he had support from comic book fans, the thing about making movies on comic book are you need to add some amount of realism to the film. Zack Snyder is well known to adapt accurately comics to films, whether it's 300, Watchmen or Batman vs Superman. But here he made a mistake. Just like comic book, you pick up any comic book and start reading it, you won't understand what has happened before unless you have read the previous issue. Similarly, without an origin story, you can, if you directly land two main characters against each other, it won't give you the result that is expected. Zack Snyder got a bad name, and when he was making Justice League, he had to step down as the director for some personal reasons, and the other director completely revamped the story. Like, let one person tell his story. If somebody is taking the story in one direction, you just can't change the director, change the script, reshoot it and make it completely else. That's why Justice League failed, because the audience were expecting answers to the questions raised in Batman vs Superman, which Zack Snyder probably would have answered, but because the director was changed, this new director completely revamped the story, and now we are waiting for the Snyder cut. Let's hope we get answers to those questions. Number 3. Marvel Cinematic Universe had a character arc, like right from Iron Man 1 to Avengers Endgame. You can see how Iron Man, his character progresses, changes with time and reaches and completes his character arc. Similarly, Captain America, who doesn't swear at all in Captain America, learns to swear in Avengers Endgame. So we see a character development in this process. In Batman, in DCEU, I mean, which direction they are going. Mind you, all DC origin stories were successful, right? From Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, even Man of Steel wasn't that bad. But when it comes to direct main crossover films, it falls down. DCEU has done so many bad things that the whole franchise has been ruined. With a little hopes on solo films, let's see how things go up from here. The topic number 2 is why Bollywood failed to create good superhero films. Number 1. The American superhero films are based on comic book characters. These comic book characters were developed over a period of many years. So they had a very defined backstory, they had a very defined characterization, they had very defined everything. While Bollywood filmmakers make films like Krish or whatever, they lack that depth. And not just that, they simply try to ape the West. There is a dialogue from The Dark Knight in which the Batman says, Batman is an idea. The idea is, Batman is just a human being and he can inspire anyone to be Batman. And if Batman is killed, someone else can take on the mantle and continue to be the Batman. Now, the same dialogue has been adapted in Krish 3, where Priyanka says, Krish ek soch hai. I mean, how? Kya soch hai? I mean, you just took the same dialogue and translated in Hindi, but the context, there is no context. Then we have films like Ravan, which I don't know what was happening apart from the VFX, because superheroes are superhero because they save the people. Whether it's Krishwan or Ravan, their main intention is to save their family, not save the city, or to save the world. Robo, on the other hand, had a better story. Number 2, why Bollywood fails. Bollywood considers superhero characters and superhero stories meant for kids. That's why they don't put that much effort in characterization, because of which they fail. The only successful superhero franchise or series or whatever was Shaktiman. Although it was an Indian version of Superman, it did had some original ideas and concepts like chakras, kundalinis, and all other elements from Hindu mythology and philosophy. So if we want to make a good superhero movie, we need to have a good characterization, good character arc, good character development, a plan for the franchise, and not making random movies just because the prequel was successful, so we want to make a sequel which has nothing. No. Let's hope we get to see some better films in coming years, and stay tuned to Pravya now, because research paper has just started and I'm going to come back with new episodes on new topics, and also a correlation between superhero characters and mythological figures. So stay tuned to Pravya now. This is Pranav signing off. Ta-da! Is that a mosquito? Too many disturbance, I can't do anything about it. Yeah, the noise has started again. Today I'm going to finish this video at any costs.